Vivo's upcoming X70 family has had no shortage of leaks, live photos, official teasers, and also the certifications quite lately, leaving very little to the imaginations for the September 9th event where they will be unveiling the X70 series. Any remaining confusion regarding the specs across all of these three devices that are going to be launched are cleared up. Most of these specs are already known and you can check them out on TechWafer's pricing and specification section. The link is in the description, but we are still going to recap everything that we know, starting off with the flagship model, the X70 Pro Plus. This phone is going to have a 6.78 inches Quad HD Plus resolution display, that is 3200 into 1440 pixels of resolution that you are going to get, and with that it has 10-bit color support, 120Hz refresh rate support, HDR10 Plus certification, and at the top of all, it is an AMOLED display. And with that it has Samsung's E5 variety, which has 25% better power consumption compared to the E4 and a local peak brightness of up to 1500 nits, which is brighter as sun, I guess. And then there is this punch hole 32 megapixel selfie shooter on the front, as well as an in-display fingerprint scanner. In the performance section, the X70 Pro Plus has Snapdragon's 888 Plus chipset coupled with 12 gigs of RAM, which is an LPDDR5 RAM, and 256 GB of internal storage, and that is a UFS 3.1, which is the fastest storage available out there. And in the battery section, this phone is powered by 4500 mAh battery that is to be charged with a 55 watt fast charging and a 50 watt fast wireless charging support. And for the camera section, which is the main highlight of the smartphone, the X70 Pro Plus has 50 megapixel camera with f1.57 aperture, and that is based on Samsung's GN1 sensor, and apart from that it also has a 48 megapixel ultra wide Sony's IMX598 camera with 4-axis gimbal optical image stabilization. And with that they are also providing a 12 megapixel portrait camera and an 8 megapixel periscope zoom camera that also has optical image stabilization for 5x zoom. Other features of this smartphone include dual SIM support, dual band GPS, and also the Android 11.0 running at the top of FunTouch OS 11.1, and you should note this point because you are going to find an interesting fact about this software in the later part of this video. Apart from the high-end model, the X70 Pro Plus, the other variants include the vivo's X70 and X70 Pro, and both of these smartphones are expected to have a 6.56 inches Full HD Plus panel with a resolution of 2376 pixels into 1080 pixel with HDR10 Plus support, 120Hz AMOLED display, and also an in-display fingerprint scanner. As far as the selfie camera is concerned, both of these smartphones are also carrying a 32 megapixel selfie camera similar to the Pro Plus model, but unlike the Pro Plus model, both of these smartphones are to be charged with a 45 watt power brick. And as far as the battery capacity is concerned, the X70 Pro has 4450 mAh battery. On the other hand, the basic variant, the X70, has 4400 mAh battery, but the charging speed is same for both. As far as the storage is concerned, both should be available with 256 GB of UFS 3.1 storage and either 8 GB of RAM or 12 gigs of RAM. Apparently they will boot Android 11.0, and at the top of that is going to run the latest software of Vivo, which they have named Origin OS 1.0. And that, I guess, is the difference between the top end model, the X70 Pro Plus, and the X70 and X70 Pro. As far as the weight is concerned, the X70 Pro weighs 185 grams and the X70 Pro weighs 181 grams. As far as the performance section is concerned, the X70 Pro is going to have Exynos 1080 chipset powering up its performance and the graphic needs. On the other hand, the X70 is going to be powered by MediaTek's Dimensity 1200 or Exynos 1080 chipset, or there could be both variants available for different regions. As far as the cameras are concerned, the X70 Pro is going to have a 50 megapixel Samsung's GN1 main snapper with optical image stabilization, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera with macro mode, and a 12 megapixel portrait camera along with an 8 megapixel periscope lens. On the other hand, the basic X70 will have a 48 megapixel Sony's IMX776 sensor, which is OIS enabled, and then a 12 megapixel ultra wide sensor that also has the macro technology, and a 12 megapixel portrait camera, but this variant will be missing the periscope lens that is available on the X70 Pro and X70 Pro Plus variants. So as far as the overall specs are concerned, now you know what their phone will bring along with them and inside them. And that is pretty much it about the X70, X70 Pro and X70 Pro Plus that are going to be launched on September 9th. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you really did, a like on the video and a sub to the channel would be highly appreciated. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Till then, peace out.